Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be taking you down the allotment shortly, so don't worry, this isn't going to be a boring inside video, this is going to be an outside video. But I just thought with the current goings on, I'd do the intro bit inside the house where I can be sat down just chatting easily and calmly without the risk of anyone seeing and going, you're not working on your plot, you're just sitting talking. Because we are allowed to go to the allotment at the moment. I have double checked, but it does say you've got to be working, and I'm not sure if they'd count sitting, chatting to you guys as working or not. So I thought, better safe than sorry. Let's sit here. I've just got back from the allotment. I am hot, I'm feeling dishevelled, I am dirty, I've got mud in my fingernails, it's great. Yeah, so how's everyone else coping at the moment? It's hard staying inside, but I'm so glad I've got the allotment. I'm so glad I've got it and that we're actually still allowed to go to it at the moment, and fingers crossed that rule will stay in place, that we are allowed to go to things like allotments, because they're so good for just getting the exercise, providing the food, and just mental health as well. Things in the house aren't great. We were doing okay until Saturday, and then our boiler decided to break, and it didn't just break a little bit, it like properly broke. The plumber came out and he said it needs a whole new boiler. Yay, what a time for the boiler to break, when, you know, government advice is wash those hands with soap and warm water, and we can't get any warm water. And the best part is that we rent, and our landlord and letting agents are not the best for getting things done. The plumber said he could come back today and fix it, he could get the boiler, no problem, but the landlord's got issues with transferring the money to pay for it and all of that, so I'm not going to talk too much more about that because it's just going to wind me up. I'm having to wash in cold water, but I'm refusing to do a cold water hair wash until absolutely necessary, because I hate cold water hair washes. So this can stay messy until it gets fixed, or I just can't cope with it anymore. Anyway, today on the allotment we are going to be planting some chamomile. I'm growing chamomile. It can be used as a tea, turned into a tea. I'm going to grow it predominantly for use in the soaps and things that I create, because it can be really good to be used in soaps. It's great for skin. So I'm going to grow it and hopefully use it to turn it into a lovely chamomile soap. There are two kinds of chamomile you can get. There is a Roman chamomile, which is this one, which is known as true chamomile. The Latin name is Chamomillum nobile. I'm sure that's not how it's pronounced, but hey ho. And the other kind is a German chamomile, and this one is Latin name Matricaria recutita, or something like that. There's a few differences between German and Roman. I'm going to be growing one row of each, because they can both be used as tea and they can both be used in bath and body products. If you were going to grow a chamomile lawn, which some people do, some people like to use it instead of grass, if you're planning on growing a chamomile lawn, then you want Roman chamomile. German won't work for a lawn, so if you are looking for just a full-on grassy covering, go with Roman. The other differences are Roman chamomile is a shorter plant and it tends to spread, hence why it's great as a lawn covering, and it's also a perennial plant, so it will come back year in, year out. German chamomile grows taller and it's an annual, so it will self-seed each year and come back if it's seeded. It's not going to come back on the same plant year on, unlike Roman chamomile, which will. So they are the two main sort of differences. Soil-wise, they like kind of a neutral soil, so a pH level of between about 5.5 to 7.5. They don't need too much fertiliser. They like kind of full sun or part shade. I'm going to be growing mine in full sun, and It's the first time I've grown chamomile, and I'm really looking forward to it because it's something I've been meaning to grow for a long time. So I'm looking forward to actually, hopefully, successfully growing some. So I've grown a row of each purely because I want to be able to test them both, see which one is my favourite. The Roman I'm expecting to get less flowers from, and the German, well, I don't know. We'll see what happens. As I said, I haven't done it before. But let me take you down the allotment now, show you how we're getting on, and show you us sowing these chamomile seeds. So, before I get started, I want to just address a couple of things. The first is that I'm doing today's speaking part as a voiceover. The reason for this is that there was a person a couple of plots down, and for whatever reason I still get incredibly self-conscious talking on camera when there's other people about. Don't know why, I just do. The second thing is I'm doing what I like to affectionately term a Charlie Dimmock, and those of you a little bit older will probably get the reference and be able to guess what I mean. In that today it's very warm and I've ditched the bra. I don't know why I feel the need to say this, but I'm sure there would be somebody clever who would feel the need to bring it up in the comments if I didn't get it out there myself first. So, now that that's all dealt with, I am adding some compost to this bed. I actually got this bed already yesterday. It's where my strawberries used to be, and it was so full of roots and weeds because obviously the strawberry plants have been there for about 3 years, and it hasn't been dug since then. So I dug it all over yesterday, and I meticulously sieved all of the compost that you can see in the base here, the drier compost. I sieved it all and took out all the roots, all the weeds. That left the level a little bit low, so what I'm doing here is just topping it up with some multi-purpose compost. And the reason my compost is full of weeds is because it's been at the end of my plot for the last 2 years. I didn't even realise I had it, but I found it earlier on and I needed something to top this bed up with, so I went with this compost here. And now we have topped this up, we shall move on to actually getting the seeds sown. And now what I'm going to do is just gently rake in that new compost with everything that I sieved yesterday. I am just going to mix it in a little bit. There's no real need to, but it makes things feel a little bit nicer. And again, some of you may have noticed the creature in the background who is hovering over his iPad. I just want to stick up for him a little bit here because I know there'll be a lot of people that are like, oh my goodness, kid on an iPad, he should be doing something. I want to say this is the 4th day in a row that we've been at the allotment, and the other 3 days he has been out. All the digging that you can see, he's been helping me with that. But today it is really warm and I think he just wants a little bit of a chill out, so I told him he could bring his iPad and just chill at the allotment while I'm working. As I say, the other 3 days we've been here, he has been pulling his weight and he has been digging and helping. So I figure that, 1 day out of 4 to be on his iPad, having a little bit of a play, is fine by me. At least he's here enjoying the sun. Right, this is pretty well raked down and made level now, so I think we're going to get on to planting the seeds. And first off, what I'm going to do, because I like my rows to be straight, is I'm going to mark at each end where I want the rows of seeds to be. Chamomile needs to be sown about a foot or 30 centimetres apart in rows and sown very finely. So I'm going to mark them out approximately 30 metres, goodness me, approximately 30 centimetres apart. And I'm going to use this stick here just to try and get something of a straight line to the other side, where I'm also going to put in a little stick thing here to mark out to the end of the row, and then I'm going to repeat here doing the same thing. This isn't a foolproof method because this stick isn't straight in itself, so it's not going to be a perfectly straight line, but it's straight enough to keep me happy. And the first chamomile that we're going to sow today is the Roman chamomile, the one that is called true chamomile. Both of them are here, as you can see, Roman and German. Yeah, we are going to start with Roman today. Yep, that's it. Open the packet. Come on, get that packet open. Take your time, why don't you? Yep, that's it. Nice. Oh, we're going to move the camera. Okay, we're moving the camera now. So, camera safely in its new position. We are sowing Roman chamomile, and the seeds are absolutely tiny. They are really, really small. Take a look at these. Tiny weenie! And I'm going to sow them thinly in a line just down this earth here. Starting at one end and working my way down to the other. And it's really difficult with seeds so small to actually see how many you're sowing and how many you're getting. So it's just a case of a little bit of guesswork and just kind of easing them out of my fingertips. And I can't wait for these to grow. I'm hoping it grows because I've really wanted chamomile for a long time. It is so versatile in terms of herbal medicine and things like that, and bath and body products, and it's also really pretty. Apparently it's got a lovely sort of almost apple-like scent, so that'll be really interesting as well to see if that comes through when they've grown. And one thing about chamomile is that it needs light to germinate, so instead of covering it with soil, which is obviously what you'd normally do with the majority of seeds that you're sowing, this one you don't actually cover with soil at all. You just have to pat it down fairly firmly into the compost. And it does scare me when sowing seeds that don't require any compost on top of them, because I get worried that the birds are going to eat them, or the mice are going to eat them, or the wind's going to blow them away. So not covering seeds with compost is something that doesn't feel quite right to me. It makes me feel like I'm not doing something properly. But that's not the case here. They have to be left open to the light, because otherwise they're not going to germinate properly. So I'm just sort of firming them into the ground here, and now we're going to move on to the German chamomile. Yep, there it is, German chamomile. Right, we're going to get that packet open. That's it. So see how difficult you can make it look opening the packet. Yeah, still opening it. Just rip it. Just rip it. Go on. We haven't got all day here. Actually, we have, haven't we, at the moment? Nothing else to do. That's it. Watch me open these seeds. Fun, fun, fun. Exciting times. April 2020. Right, surprisingly enough, the German chamomile seeds look much the same as the Roman chamomile seeds. Not a huge deal of difference. And we're just going to sow these exactly the same way that we sowed the Roman ones. A gentle sprinkle down the compost. And I want to point out at this point, you can't see it on camera, but there was a really big, black, scary spider in the compost at this point, and I was trying my best to avoid it. Normally I don't mind spiders at the allotment, but this one was especially big and black. So I am doing my best to sow these seeds whilst avoiding the evil spider of doom. And again, after we've put all of these seeds in, I'm just going to gently press them down into the compost with my hand. I'm just going to give them a quick water, because we don't want that compost to dry out, and because it is compost and it is in a raised bed, it does tend to dry out. These beds do tend to dry out a little bit quicker than actually the ground itself. So I'm going to water them in well, and after that what I'm going to do is cover them up. because like I say, I don't want the birds to get to them. I sowed a whole load of seeds last year and I left them outside overnight and something got to them, because when I went to see them in the following day in the morning, they were all uprooted and some of them were eaten, some of them were missing, some of them survived, but most of them went. So now I like to cover my seeds. And I've got these panels here which are great. They were off a chicken coop that was here when we actually took over the plot. 5 years ago, was it? 6 years maybe? 6 years I think that I took over this plot. And they've been here ever since, and they work so well as just providing a quick and easy covering to stop anything getting to those seeds, and indeed to stop cats getting in or foxes getting in, because when I've got freshly turned compost like this, the foxes and cats do like to use it as a bit of a litter tray, and this stops it. Perfect. Right, that's all done now. I'll say a quick and easy video for today, but I hope you've enjoyed it, and I shall see you all next time. Ta-ta for now.